Hello, this is Patty Jackson, life coach, practicing steps 5 and 6 of my 7 steps to positive change. Step 5 is taking inspired action, and step 6 is experiencing and enjoying life right now as enough. And today I've been inspired to pull out the camera and broadcast right here from Lapham Peak State Park in Wisconsin, where a snowplow truck is even shoveling the parking lot. The topic that I've been inspired to talk about today is adult temper tantrums. I know I've had them myself. The reason why I feel like I have an adult temper tantrum most of the time is when I feel like what I said isn't being heard. And an example that comes to mind recently is with my teenagers and the dishes. And my kids will bring all their dishes to the sink, but they don't take that last step and put them in the dishwasher. And for some reason, it just drives me crazy. I know I could be happy enough with yay, they got it at least to the sink, but my desire is that it's just put away and that I don't have to do that. So what happens is they get it to the sink, and what I do is I remind them, please put it in the dishwasher, please put it in the dishwasher. They hear me, they say, okay, sorry, and then it shows up again. So the temper tantrum for me happens more inside my bubble, inside myself, where I see it and everything goes off inside me. I can't get this to change. I can't get them to do what I want them to do. And a lot of screaming, I can't, goes on. The way I respond to those I can't thoughts is the same way every time, and no change occurs. So the 7 steps to positive change in my inside bubble adult temper tantrum is what can get me through it. And what I do is do that first step. I become aware of what's going on. What is going on here? And accept it and love myself anyway. Instead of judging myself for not being able to cause the change, I just look at all of the components of what's going on. Become aware of what I'm doing, become aware of what the kids are doing, and just accept this is where I am. Step 2, I get clear on my desire. Is it true that I really want the kids to get the dishes all the way in the dishwasher? Is this my clear desire? Absolutely. That desire is clear. Do I believe it's possible? Absolutely. How am I open to receive this happening? Well, here I get to address some of the behaviors that I'm not so thrilled with. The behaviors such as having that temper tantrum inside myself, or the behaviors of saying to them even out loud, how many times do I have to tell you? It doesn't take much, and carry on with those kind of words. I am not open to them changing that way anymore. I'm not open to them saying sorry and doing it again anymore. This does not work. So then I can start thinking of ways I am open for this change to occur. And I realize that some of the things that are going on there are then I'm doing some things and I have expectations of them, and they say they're going to do it. But where's that receiving? I pick them up on time. They ask me to get things at the grocery store. I do it. And I do it. And sometimes I make mistakes. I say I'm sorry, but I make amends and I make sure that I'm doing it. So I realized that what I was giving, I wasn't receiving. So I just brought that to their awareness, not in judgment, just to their awareness, step 1, with acceptance and love for them and love for myself. And then ask them, do you want me to be giving to you what you're giving to me? My kids became aware that they do have a part on, if they say they're going to do something, they really need to commit to it at a real level and take the actions they said they'd take. So I became clear that's what it was. And my inspired actions with them was to have that conversation. And then I would praise them every time I'd see them actually putting it in. Not only that, is sometimes I had to get their desire even higher. And I realized I was giving them allowance. Every week, they can't have a job yet, to pay for the things that they're necessary to pay for as a teenager, like movies and those kind of things. And I realized if I was giving to them yet they weren't giving back to me, then that was an imbalance. So just a few times when they didn't do the dishes, I was open to receive that I would at least get paid for doing their dishes. I wouldn't have to pay them for working as a teammate, their allowance, when they weren't. So a few times I said, hey, thank you for the $2 that I got to receive from your allowance for doing your dishes for you. The things that happened next were I saw one of them reminding the other one as he was leaving the room, hey, come back and do your dishes. And they started to work together as a team too, reminding themselves on this goal. So my adult temper tantrum then, with the 7 steps to positive change, becoming aware, accepting, and loving myself, getting clear on my desire, getting clear on how I'm so not open to getting the desire anymore, and allowing that to shift to, well, here are some strategies that I can do. Believing it's possible, seeing positive change that comes from small actions that I was taking. Taking inspired actions by having the conversation and bringing to their awareness what was going on. Taking inspired actions by, instead of ranting and raving, just saying, oh, thank you, I got $2 for the dishes today. And then experiencing every single baby step they were taking as enough and celebrating them as I praised myself. Yay, what I'm doing is working. I can have this change that I want. And celebrating what was working even inside myself as I saw them reminding each other. My adult temper tantrum subsided. It was important. I could feel it inside, and it did warrant some time for me to come back into myself and ask my heart and soul, what do I want? And to find my I can. So if you find yourself having an adult temper tantrum either inside or with the people around you, please take the time. Your attention, your desires deserve you to find your I can, and they deserve new responses to the problem. If you have other people around you demonstrating temper tantrums, 7 steps to positive change can take place for you too. That will be another video.